Welcome to the rundown. This is your boy AP, and I got my boy Uncle Money. And today we're talking about the promotion companies in boxing. Who is good and who is not good in boxing? Is this going to be a clash? Are they going to work together in a couple years? Or it's going to be split? So, are the promotion companies we have currently the big impact? We got the Jake Paul and his promotion group. We got Turkey Alalshikh with TKO making their own boxing. And then we got our regular promotion companies that everybody knows: PBC, Matchroom, Golden Boy, Top Rank. We know those. But are we going to get one big promotional company, or is it going to stay divided? And are they good for boxing? What do you from?
Well, let me give my take. So I know in us boxing people, we always talked about, oh, wouldn't it be good to just have one belt under one umbrella, right? How WWE is, how UFC is. But also, I don't mind the different promotions because I think competition. You need the competition. Look at in pro wrestling, for example, right? Back in the day, you had ECW, WWE, and then after WWE bought WCW, and wrestling became the WWE became the number one, and the products weren't as good as the Attitude Era. Now the Ruthless Aggression was good, but it wasn't as good. And it's just when you have more options, the competition is better. It forces you to be better. So with all these different promotions, I do think it's going to force because if one promotion is on BS, this fighter can go to this promotion. So I think it's good. And you have guys that are like, no, I don't like how this is done. I'm gonna step up and do my own thing. So I think, and also it gives more fighters more outlets. He's wrestling again as an example. Right now we got WWE. We also got AEW. Even though AEW to me is inferior to WWE, still AEW gives other professional wrestlers a chance to showcase what they got. It gives them a chance to do it for a living. And then of course there's still Impact Wrestling, and I don't even know if Ring of Honor is still around, but there's different things. So with boxing and all these promotions, you have more opportunities for these boxers. And as far as which is better, it all depends. But I'm gonna say this: the greatest boxer in the world, Jake Paul. Has anyone ever heard anything negative about his promotion from the fighters themselves?
I think having these promotional companies, because I was these sanctioning bodies. I feel like need to condense more because they need one sanctioned body more than promotional
Yeah.
companies changing. Just because these sanctioned bodies have millions of belts now, they sometimes don't even work in the fans' favor. They'll strip somebody from a belt when they're having, say, a rematch or something like that, so it lose the heat of undisputed. As long as the promotional companies work with each other, I'm okay with it. It does create competition. I do like how Matchroom and the Zone might do Matchroom versus the Zone or Golden Boy versus
Mhm.
the Zone, or I like that. I
That's the
was
best part, actually.
I like that, but I did was like have boxing under one roof. I was feeling like Turkey Sheet, yes, this and that. But when he made the move with Dana White, it kind of brought me back to reality because Dana White, he's having it's supposed to be a different kind of boxing league, I guess. But with their boxing league, the pay is shit. So what they're doing, they'll give somebody $500,000 for a championship fight, and that is crazy. So it's just I feel like having
It's
too much exactly having much power on one person's hands. I feel like it's not going to be good. But having different promotional companies that work together, I feel like that's going to always be good if somebody can bring them together. Like Turkey Sheik does that, but I don't know if he's just trying to get in people's good graces and then take over, be strategic. But what I can say is that MVP, I like their model. MVP, Jake Paul's promotion, he's like in his own league right now. Really, if you think about it, he promotes women boxing. Men boxing has the most views it ever had before. He puts money in women's boxing. Puts women have made the most money they ever made with women's boxing, and he might just take over that. If Patricia Shield can get off her ego and go to MVP, and all of them just go to MVP, he might be have his own women's boxing league because he's the only one that's actually giving them money that
yeah.
they and giving them actually views. Like, people are starting to understand. Oh, Amanda Serrano. Oh, I know who she is because she was on Jake Paul's card.
Mm.
So they're getting
Mhm.
face that way. Like, nobody's backing them how they were getting back now. And women, Duca, like say, complain about TV deals and not getting advertised, but Jake Paul's he's putting in front of Netflix, worldwide exposure. I know Turkey she be trying to like diss Jake Paul, but he's doing a great thing for them, and you
Right.
can actually work together.
And Turkey, his coaches, they don't really give a damn about the women like that. You know what I'm saying? And I like the point you brought up. If Clarissa Shields get off her ego, if she signed with Jake Paul, oh, she would even be a bigger star, I believe.
Because she just I understand why she's upset.
Yeah, I
Uh,
understand why.
because she didn't get the recognition. Any other person that maybe was cute, different kind of race, maybe got 2 gold medals back to back, 4-time undisputed, moved so many different ways because will be a
Yeah,
superstar right now.
yeah. But
Or
she
yeah,
has
it's a
all the
good thing.
credentials to
She
be a household name.
should be crazy. She should be better than bigger than even some male boxers just based on her
Yeah,
credentials. But in
right.
women boxing has came a long way. But I think if she got off her ego, Jake Paul will help her out because she needs that. You can't do everything by yourself. I understand you
I
want
don't think
to
she's. I want to add this. I don't. I'm starting to think. I'm also thinking maybe she's not even promoted correctly because you look at Ronda Rousey, for example. I think Clarissa has more impressive accolades than Ronda Rousey. But Ronda Rousey being in the UFC machine, UFC is the machine, and how she was promoted, she was at one point the biggest star in the UFC, bigger than the men. She was main eventing, making more money than the men. She was marketed and promoted good. And
but
I
then
feel like,
but Ronda Rousey is timing too. Ronda Rousey came when UFC started to boom. She came when UFC was getting momentum. She came right in the middle of that era when UFC started
yeah,
getting crazy faces too. So
yeah.
Christian Shield boxing never really highlighted women's boxing that much.
But yeah, it's true. But because UFC wasn't, she was one of the pioneers. I'll say that because at the
Mhm.
time Dana has said, "I'll never hire women in this organization." So you're right. Like she, when it was going upward, she was the pioneer for women. But also she was marketed and promoted well. And I feel like maybe Clarissa wasn't promoted well on top of the other things you said, which particularly hold her back from being that superstar level. How the
Yeah,
hell did we get
yeah.
off topic to that?
Well, I mean, because it's about for the promotion, about MVP does
Yeah,
some great things about, women boxing, so I think that Turkey she still needs to combine that as well. I understand his culture, but needs to does that. Turkey she also with he does a lot of top ranked, does Matchroom, does, the Zone fighting with his promotion. They need to make it more in the States. I understand you trying to build Saudi Arabia, but it's not or whatever he's fighting at, but the States is the one that makes your money. That's why almost all his fights, even though he's making some great cards, are not making any money, because
yeah.
you're fighting at 5 p.m. in the East in America. People are not watching that, and you're not making the money you need. So I think the promotional companies are great for boxing. I think there's still some work and tune-ups needs to be done to make boxing the greatest sport ever. You really just have to work to the promotional companies need to work together. And I like the model because I am still an advocate of boxers getting paid, but boxers need to know their network. Just because Turkey Al-Sheet is throwing money at you doesn't mean that's how much you really are worth because you don't bring eyes to the table. Like Terrence Bud Crawford, he should be the most he should be a superstar, but he does not his fights are exciting. He does not get the fan draw. So people need to understand when you don't get fans draw, you're not gonna get the money that you want. That's why Ryan Garcia can get the money he want and he don't have no championships. It's just what it is. That's the entertainment business. People need to understand that. But I feel like the promotional company get with the right promotional company. Stop doing these sides of the street. I have to feel like they ain't doing that because money's thrown on them. But Turkey she cannot throw money all the time. He just can't do it. Like that's a bad business model. Eventually, he's going to be like, "Look, I can't keep on doing it," and then we're gonna go back to the boxing we had before. So I
Well,
just think
that nigga's he a trillionaire, man. I don't think he cared, to be honest.
no, but
He a
at the end
trillionaire,
of the
man.
day, you still want to make good
I
business. So
I get what you said, but sometimes I look at it like this is a hobby for him. I think it's a hobby for him, low key. But you're
yeah,
right. I think for any other normal person, I think Turkey's like this is a hobby. I don't give a damn. But
he feels that
you
way.
know,
But till people, yes, they have oil money, but when people start making a shift or something happens, you don't want to just throw away
yeah,
money. You want other
yeah.
projects. You want your project still to win. You're not gonna promote boxing like
That's
you
true.
promote women basketball, take a loss every year. It's just not gonna happen. Like
Nah, we
it is
always
what
want to
it
win.
is.
We're competitive men. We always want to
Yeah,
win.
but
He's competitive, so
but Turkey had to be humble too, man, because I'm starting to see a little side of him I really don't like. I don't know if it's gonna be best for boxing because he tries to take away fights from certain teams now a little bit. So
y'all call this nigga his excellency. I think that's a little bit that's what they call him. So I mean, if someone was calling me His Excellency, I'd probably have my meat out thinking I'm the shit. I ain't gonna lie.
But that's what I think that's because over there, that's what they call them. Like, I think they're like
No, they call him here too. Yeah, they be like
well, I'm
the
saying
the
he's a
the, the
prince, I think,
boxing
or
committee.
something. He's something like that. I don't know over there. He's part of the royal family. So
Yeah, His Excellency.
he so that's what
So
he
yeah.
is. That's what British people so people just gonna pick it up like that. But I think promotion companies are
Mm.
good for boxing. I just feel like they need to work more together. Don't try to blackball or show the because Jake Paul, he's doing his thing. Let's work together. We don't need these side of the streets because Terrence Bud Crawford talked about in an interview what a good undercard would have been him, Canelo versus Bud Crawford, and Shakur versus Tank Davis would be crazy. So, but yeah, I think promotions companies are good for boxing, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. I just don't want no dictator and paying boxers worthless money, but to promote them as well.